The Ring. The tape doesn't kill you immediately, it gives you 7 days. Rachel Keller is a journalist in Seattle. She investigates a videotape linked to teenage deaths. After watching it, each victim received a phone call. 7 days later, they died. Rachel assumes it's an urban legend. She watches the tape. A well, a ladder, a distorted face. The phone rings. 7 days. Rachel traces the tape to Shelter Mountain Inn. She learns about Samara Morgan. Adopted, isolated, feared. Samara was thrown into a well and left there to die. Rachel discovers the well and descends into it. At the bottom lies Samara's body. Rachel believes this will end it. A proper burial. Closure. And this is where the investigation makes a fatal mistake. The curse was never meant to be solved. Rachel survives day 7. She thinks she broke it. Then Noah dies. Samara crawls out of the television toward him. He cannot move. He dies. The rule becomes clear. You must copy the tape and show it to someone else. That's what makes it stick. The curse spreads. To live, you pass it on. Rachel realizes her son has watched the tape and helps him make a copy. Survival requires sacrifice, and inevitability replaces justice. The screen goes black, but somewhere, a phone is still ringing. But some horrors don't crawl out of televisions, they hide inside the film itself. Sinister. The killer isn't hiding in the house. He's inside the film. Ellison Oswalt moves his family into a murder house. He is a true crime writer. His career is fading. He believes solving this case will save it. In the attic, he finds Super 8 films. He watches them at night. Each shows a different family. Each ends in murder. A family hanging from a tree. A lawnmower moving in the dark. A car burning with people inside. A pool drowning. He discovers Bughuul, an ancient pagan deity. The missing children from each case were never found. And this is where the films reveal their real purpose. They don't record murders, they create them. The children kill their families first. Ellison burns the film reels and destroys the projector. He leaves the house with his family. He thinks he ended it, but his daughter Ashley has already changed. She poisons the family. She films their bodies. Bughuul appears behind her. Ellison wakes up tied to the floor. Ashley lifts an axe. That's the horror. The demon doesn't break in. He recruits. The footage is part of the ritual. Once it starts, it finishes, and the pattern resets in a new house. The projector flickers, waiting for the next family to press play. But some traps don't need a house. Some close beneath the earth, where light cannot follow and maps lie. The Descent. The cave traps them before the creatures ever do. The monsters only arrive after the escape is gone. Sarah joins Juno and friends on a cave trip. They believe it's mapped. It isn't. Juno chose an uncharted system. The entrance collapses. They are sealed inside. Passages narrow. Rocks shift. One tunnel caves in while Sarah crawls through. She barely escapes. Then they find old climbing gear. Someone else was here. The creatures appear. Pale, blind, fast. While fleeing from a crawler, Holly falls into a deep shaft and dies. Sam is attacked and killed by the crawlers. Rebecca fights back against the crawlers, dies. Juno stabs Beth by accident, leaves her behind. Sarah finds Beth dying, learns Juno abandoned her, and this is where the real trap becomes clear. The cave was never mapped. Sarah snaps. Covered in blood, she fights the crawlers in the dark, killing several of them with her climbing tools. There is no confirmed escape. In the UK original ending, Sarah climbs out, reaches her car, sees Juno's reflection. She wakes up, still underground. The escape was a hallucination. She sits alone in the dark, imagining her daughter. That's why it lingers. The monsters are real, but betrayal cuts deeper, and isolation finishes the job. The light was never real. The darkness closes in and it does not loosen its grip. But not every terror hides underground. Some wait at the edge of the forest. The Witch. The forest was watching before they built the house. And once the family crossed its edge, the forest began deciding what stayed alive. William and his family are banished. They settle beside a forest. He believes God will provide. Crops fail, food runs low. The baby disappears while Thomason plays with him. We see the witch kill the child. The family does not. They blame Thomason. Caleb enters the forest, meets the witch disguised as a woman. He returns sick, convulsing. He dies in religious agony. Paranoia spreads. Catherine breaks down. The twins accuse Thomason of being a witch, and this is where the nightmare stops being suspicion. The witch is real. William is killed by Black Phillip. Catherine attacks Thomason and dies. Thomason stands alone. Black Phillip speaks to Thomason. She signs his book. She walks into the forest. The witches levitate around the fire. That's what makes it bleak. This was not only hysteria, there was something there. She chooses the darkness. The fire rises and something ancient answers her. But some families are not torn apart by superstition. Some are dismantled carefully, generation by generation, long before anyone understands the design. Hereditary. The ritual started long before the first death. The family was chosen long before they knew it. Annie mourns her mother, Ellen. She believes peace might follow. She is wrong. Charlie behaves strangely, draws symbols, clicks her tongue. Peter takes Charlie to a party. She eats cake with nuts. Her throat closes. He drives fast. She leans out the window. A pole. Impact. Peter drives home in shock. Annie finds the body the next morning. Grief fractures everything. Annie meets Joan. They perform a seance. Glass shatters. Objects move. Peter becomes the focus. And this is where the tragedy stops being random. Every death was necessary. Charlie was never the final vessel. The cult needed a male host, Peter. Annie becomes possessed. She saws off her own head with piano wire. Peter jumps from the attic. He survives. Paimon enters him. The cult crowns him in the treehouse. They bow. That's why it feels merciless. The suffering was planned. Each death served a purpose. Free will was never part of it. The ending was written before the funeral. The crown settles and the silence feels permanent. But not every killer believes in destiny. Some believe murder is art. The house that Jack built. Murder is treated like art, and Jack believes he's building a masterpiece. Jack narrates his crimes to Verge. He calls them incidents. He sees himself as refined, as disciplined. He kills a stranded woman after she insults him. He kills a widow in her home. He murders a mother and her 2 sons during a hunting trip. He poses their bodies, photographs them, smiles. He returns to the crime scenes, again and again, obsessive. He stores corpses in an industrial freezer. He attempts to build a house from their frozen bodies. The structure collapses. He keeps trying. And this is where murder becomes architecture. Each act builds the next. Jack never thinks he is evil. He compares himself to architects, to artists, to men who build cathedrals. He believes murder is expression, precision, philosophy. Police sirens close in. He panics for the first time. He hides in the freezer. A hidden door opens. Verge leads him downward. They descend into a landscape resembling hell, caverns, fire, ruins. Verge reveals himself as Virgil, the guide. Jack attempts to climb along a broken ledge above a chasm. One misstep. He falls into the abyss. That's the point. No redemption, no revelation, no applause for the artist. The darkness below swallows him without a sound. But some suffering is not impulsive or artistic. Some is systematic, measured, and endured for a reason no one should want to discover. Martyrs. Pain is planned. Every scream is part of the experiment. Lucy escapes brutal childhood captivity. Years later, she believes she has found the family responsible. She enters their home with a shotgun. She kills the father, the mother, the children. Anna arrives, horrified, confused. Lucy insists they were the monsters, but Lucy is haunted by visions of a disfigured woman, a manifestation of her trauma. The creature is not real, only the psychological weight of her suffering. Lucy cannot escape it. She kills herself. Anna stays. Then she discovers a hidden passage behind a wall, a metal door, a concrete chamber below. This house was part of something larger. A secret organization abducts young women. They torture them methodically, not for pleasure, for research. Anna is beaten, starved, dehumanized, flayed alive. And this is where pain becomes structure. It's not random, it is meant to teach. The suffering is intentional. The cult believes extreme pain creates transcendence, a state beyond fear, beyond identity. Anna reaches it. Her expression changes. Calm, empty. She whispers to the leader what she saw in the afterlife. The leader listens carefully, then she kills herself. The knowledge is never shared. That's why it devastates. The truth exists, but it is not shared. The silence spreads further than the screams ever did. But some nightmares don't hide in basements. Some roll across entire towns, forcing people to decide what mercy really costs. The Mist. Hope survives longer than it should, and sometimes it disappears 1 minute too early. David Drayton and his son Billy are trapped in a supermarket. A thick mist swallows the town. Shapes move inside it. People scream. The glass doors shake. Tentacles lash into the loading dock. Giant insects attack the lights. A massive creature walks past the windows. Inside, fear turns inward. Mrs. Carmody rises as a religious voice. She calls the mist punishment. She demands sacrifice. A young soldier is offered to the crowd. Violence erupts. David escapes with 4 others. They drive into the white emptiness. Abandoned cars line the road. Bodies. Silence. Fuel runs out. The creatures echo in the distance. Something enormous moves nearby. 4 bullets, 5 people. A father and his son. David makes the decision, and this is where mercy becomes fatal. The mist waits, it does not forgive. Rescue is minutes away. He shoots the others, including Billy. The gun clicks empty. He steps outside screaming for the creatures to kill him. Instead, military trucks roll through the mist. Flamethrowers, soldiers, survivors walking behind them. The mist begins to clear. He falls to his knees. That's the horror. The monsters were not the final blow. Despair was. He acted too soon. He survives only to understand the cost of mercy. The mist thins, but nothing lifts from him.